Today on Rappler. Señor Aguila and other leaders of the alleged Socorro cult are arrested for human rights abuses. A teacher is murdered inside a school in Baybay City, Leyte. Experts file a petition to the Supreme Court for Vice President Sara Duterte to return 125 million pesos in confidential funds. The United Nations calls Gaza a, quote, children's graveyard as its death toll exceeds 10,000. The Screen Actors Guild Union has yet to agree with the latest offer from major Hollywood studios. Steph Curry and Chris Paul lead the Warriors to victory against the Detroit Pistons. And actress Bea Alonzo shares she'll be getting her resident card in Spain soon. The National Bureau of Investigation arrests alleged cult leader J. Renz Kilario or Señor Aguila and other members of the Socorro Bayanihan Services Incorporated. Kilario and fellow SBSI leaders Mamerto Galanida, Karen Sanico Jr., and Janef Ahok were arrested for alleged violation of Republic Act No. 9208, or the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003 and human rights abuses. The four SBSI leaders had been detained in the Senate for 40 days before they were turned over to the NBI. The arrest of the SBSI leaders comes after prosecutors filed 21 cases for qualified trafficking in person, facilitation of child marriages, solemnization of child marriages, and child abuse. Charged together with the four leaders were 8 more SBSI members. A teacher is stabbed to death at Baybay National High School in Baybay City, Leyte on Sunday, November 5. Police identify the victim as 29-year-old teacher PJ Gonzaga Montero of Barangay San Isidro in Baybay City. Police say Montero's body was found near a stockroom of the public school at around 5 p.m. on Sunday. The Student Council and a school organization of the Baybay National High School expressed their grief over the loss of their teacher. Some of Montero's family members, former students, and colleagues have initiated a collective social media campaign called #Justice for Sir PJ Montero. Police are conducting an investigation to determine the identity of the suspect and the motive for the killing. A group of legal and economic experts file a petition before the Supreme Court to declare as unconstitutional Vice President Sara Duterte's confidential funds. The petitioners also asked the court to order the return of the 125 million peso fund. The petition's main argument is the transfer of confidential funds to the office of the Vice President was, quote, a clear usurpation of power of Congress. Petitioners argue the transfer of funds from the national budget to the OVP is an exercise of legislative power. In a statement Tuesday afternoon, Duterte says she welcomes the opportunity to discuss the legalities of the confidential funds she received.
Umaasa kami na ang dunong ng Korte Suprema ay magiging daan upang tuluyang matapos ang usapin na ito.
United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says Gaza is becoming, quote, a graveyard for children, echoing demands for a ceasefire in the enclave, where Palestinian health authorities say the death toll from Israeli strikes has exceeded 10,000. Israel says hostages taken by Hamas should be released first, while Hamas says it will not free them or stop fighting while Gaza is under assault.
Gaza is becoming a graveyard for children. Hundreds of girls and boys are reportedly being killed or injured every day. And the unfolding catastrophe makes the need for a humanitarian ceasefire more urgent with every passing hour.
The Screen Actors Guild Union responds to the latest offer from major studios and streaming services, saying they have yet to reach an agreement on several items, including the use of artificial intelligence. The SAG-AFTRA union says it is determined to secure the best deal and bring a responsible end to the strike that has lasted 4 months. On November 4, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents Disney, Netflix, and other companies, presented what the studios described as its, quote, last, best, and final offer. SAG-AFTRA members went on strike in July to demand higher compensation in the streaming TV era, plus protections around the use of AI and other gains. Stephen Curry delivers 34 points as the visiting Golden State Warriors defeat the slumping Detroit Pistons 120-109 on Tuesday, November 7, Manila time. Chris Paul finishes with 17 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds off the bench, and Klay Thompson also adds 17 points. The Detroit Pistons, which has lost 5 straight games, had 7 players sidelined due to injury or illness, including starting center Jalen Duren and key reserves Joe Harris and Jaden Ivey. Golden State had a 14-0 run in the opening quarter, with Curry scoring 16 points in 8+ minutes. The Pistons still trailed by only 5, 31-26, entering the second quarter. Bea Alonzo updates her followers she's soon getting her resident card in Spain more than a year after buying an apartment in Madrid. The actress shares a vlog of her preparing for her Europe trip with fiancé Dominic Roque. Bea says she'll be there for around 20 days and will visit cities in Italy and Spain. She adds another reason why this upcoming Europe trip is memorable for her is because she'll be getting her residency card. It will also be the first time Bea will be able to live in her 2-bedroom apartment in Madrid, which she purchased in May 2022. She also hints she will be working on a special project during the trip, which she described will, quote, show a different facet of her as an entrepreneur. In previous interviews, Bea mentioned she had thought of pursuing acting opportunities in Europe, but hasn't acted on it yet. And that's today's wrap. I'm Nina Liu. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.